0.
Today we're exploring the financial markets of Denmark. We'll have a conversation with the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association, and we have an update about the Bots League. My name is Koen Schobbers and this is Bots TV. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Bots TV, live from the headquarters of Bots in the Netherlands, Haarlem. Now, before we start, I do like to say that everything we're talking about in today's episode is no financial advice. Make sure to always do your own research. Of course, I'm together with Herbert. Herbert, how was your week?
My week was fine. We had cold weather in Holland, but that's over now.
Yeah, we had all sorts of weather.
Yeah. We
Rain.
had snow, we had hail, rain, storm. Anyway. Spring is here now, and people tell me Bitcoin is about to make a big move in April, so I'm excited.
Well, yeah, Bitcoin is ranging, and it will either break up or down.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
We'll see, exactly. Now, what are we going to talk about in today's episode of Bots TV? This is the schedule of today's episode. Of course, we are going to start with what happened in the past week in the Bots News section. Then in Bots Around the World, we're going to explore the financial market in Denmark, and we are going to do that with Kion Tindbæk, and he is the Group Financial Director of Verisure. Then in Bots Topic, we will talk with Nir Netzer. He is the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association. In Bots the Builder, we have a visit from Damian Voorhagen. He is here once again. We already had him in an earlier episode, but he is back to tell more about demo trading, and he will also be our guest in the Bots League. And finally, we will in Bots Users talk with Hendrik de Grotehuizen, where he's going to answer several questions from the audience. And talking about questions, if you have any questions during today's episode, make sure to write them in the chat, and we're going to ask those questions for you to the different guests that we have in today's episode. Now, let's start with Bots News. Yes, Coinbase Q1 2021 earning results. The American crypto exchange Coinbase, which we've actually spoken about in the past couple of episodes because Coinbase is doing insane things in the industry, but Coinbase has released its first quarter estimated earning results for 2021. It revealed that Coinbase has grown over the last quarter, and according to the results, Coinbase pulled in revenues worth over 1.8 billion, which is 50% more than in 2020. Noted 6.1 million monthly transacting users, and also noted 56 million verified users on its platform. Coinbase is going places. Second, Ethereum closest to a true currency. Mark Cuban, a Dallas Mavericks co-owner and known Shark Tank investor, recently stated that Bitcoin is a better alternative to gold, something we've been hearing repetitively in the past couple of episodes. He also compared Ethereum's smart contracts to the internet boom of the late 1990s and early 2000s. He believes Ethereum is the closest crypto coin to a true currency. Please let us know in the chat if you agree with that comment or not. Herbert, what do you think?
I think he has a good point. Because Ethereum, it's a network, it's kind of a computer, worldwide computer, but Ether, the coin, is the currency that is used to settle smart contracts. So you can buy it, you can sell it, you can use it to pay somebody you owe money to. And that makes it a currency. And Bitcoin is a currency as well, but it's hardly used at all because nobody accepts it.
Yeah, as Mark is mentioning, Bitcoin is seen as a store of value.
That's right.
Not yet, at least, being used as a currency, even though there are a couple of places where you can actually pay with Bitcoin.
Not like Tesla.
Not that it's smart to do, but nonetheless, you can.
That's right.
But with Ethereum, like you mentioned, Ethereum basically as a business is a platform where you can build different products like softwares, like apps or all sorts of things. And you're talking about smart contracts with Ether, the actual coin, being the transacting value.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And therefore it should be, or is closer to being a true currency.
At least that's Mark Cuban's point. And I think he has a good point there.
Yeah. And what is your opinion if you compare Ethereum with, let's say, Bitcoin or maybe a future potential currency?
I think Bitcoin has the greatest potential as a currency. It has drawbacks like it's slow and there are fees.
You have the Lightning Network, right?
That's right. So Bitcoin has a second layer network, the Lightning Network, which is fast, has hardly any fees. So the problem for Bitcoin as a currency is actually solved. The only thing that remains is people have to learn to use this Lightning Network. Interesting to note that many exchanges are currently integrating the Lightning Network, so it becomes easy and cheap to put your money there and take it out of the exchange. So that's a great move for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if anyone, maybe you watching, is going to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, and then in 10 years, instead of the pizza guy that bought pizza with a couple of Bitcoins, it's going to be the Tesla guy that bought a Tesla with 1 Bitcoin.
This car
now you
ruined
could have
me.
bought 10, you know? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the third news item, Ripple scores first legal win against the SEC. Now, Ripple appears to be fighting back hard against the SEC in its ongoing legal battle. The blockchain firm has scored its first major win against the SEC. One of the judges, Sarah Netburn, decided to grant Ripple's motion to compel the production of documents confirming that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not security. So why would Ripple be one? Then that was the question, and the price Herbert raised to $1, I believe you mentioned earlier.
And that's a level that hasn't been seen since March 2018.
Yeah, so if you were in a trade or you got Ripple, you might be very happy. In case you bought it at the bottom, of course. Archegos, the start of more problems for leveraged position. US equity futures tumbled last week as the market reacted to the recent block sale of shares by Archegos Capital, a private home office. The firm sold billions of shares of companies like Discovery, Tencent Music, and Alibaba. In total, the fund sold shares worth over 33 billion, and Archegos Capital leveraged its position with several banks who were not aware of each other's position. It shows that the risk appetite with bank is pretty high these days. But is it a good or a bad sign, Herbert?
Not too good, I guess.
What is going on?
What's going on is this. Money is cheap. You pay hardly any interest if you borrow money. So funds see an opportunity to make money on the stock market without having any money. They borrow it and buy stock. Like Archegos, they bought, for instance, Viacom stock. Then Viacom went down, and well, if you have stock and you have borrowed money to buy it, you're long. So they were in the minus. They
lost value, basically.
They lost value, yeah. And one of their banks, Goldman, decided they wanted to see more money as a collateral, and Archegos couldn't pay up, so Goldman decided to sell Viacom stock. To close their position. Then Viacom's stock went down, and the other banks were left with the bad hand because they couldn't get their money back at all. Yeah. That's the story of if you have borrowed a bit of money you can't pay back, you have a problem. But if you have borrowed lots of money and you can't pay up, the bank has a problem.
I think it's such a fascinating topic. Also the fact that the banks don't know from one another that they're working with the same client and he's in different positions. But we can talk probably the whole show about this topic, but we have to continue. We have one of our special guests waiting for bots around the world. Yes, we will be speaking to Kion Tindbæk, and he is the Group Finance Director of Verisure. There we are. Kion, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Well, thank you for taking the time to join us in today's episode of Bots TV. I heard you're working in the security industry, mainly the offline security industry, but at the same time, you've heard about the financial markets and the crypto industry. To first start with basically your security work, how's it going? What are you doing exactly?
It's going super well. What we're doing in security is more, we work with home alarms, so securing people's properties and themselves.
So I can imagine because you do security work, you get in touch with many people in the country. Do people sometimes talk about the crypto industry or the financial industry as a whole?
Yes, obviously, I know, a huge amount of people very interested in the financial industry. I'm a financial professional. I've been working in finance since 2000 in many different roles in different companies and different geographies. So finance obviously is a big part of my life. And also investment. I think, being I've been in many countries, but born and bred in Denmark. And in Denmark, investment is a huge, it's a culture. But it's still not, the main investment people do in Denmark is, on their own houses and in pension funds. There's actually only like 25% of people who's actually buying shares. There's not, a huge industry. But I think, what we see now is that the trend is to, more and more want to be in charge of their own investments, and they start investing in shares. And I think, obviously, the trend is obviously driven by the positive development that has been in the stock market in the last years, and also fueled on top with the COVID, where now a lot of people anyway, have more cash at hand, and also at the same time have more time. So there's a huge influx into private investors buying stocks these days.
So, what is your impression? Are many Danes currently putting their money into crypto?
I think it's obviously, I'm listening to, personally, I'm very interested in the market generally. So that's, I follow podcasts, newsletters, TV programs, and so on. And you can see there's more and more people talking about crypto. I would say if you go, some years back, there was a lot of people were hesitant in the market, but now it's becoming more and more mainstream. Big, investors, that people knows and there's quite credible investors are now going into that market also. So it's clearly something that's much more focused on these days.
Yes, and that's how obvious. About government regulations? Are government regulations making this difficult, or is that not a problem?
No, I don't think it's a problem. You can buy cryptocurrency, through different, sites, apps, and so on. So it's possible to buy it. The only difficulty a bit is around the taxation, where it's still a little bit of a, where the stock market is very well regulated. The banks are, have obligations to tell how much you earned and so on in the year. On crypto, it's different. So the taxation part is a bit troublesome these days.
Yes, and does Denmark have a lot of crypto startups?
Yeah, some startups, but generally I would say the most famous Danish crypto startup you would say is actually Danish people that lives in Switzerland. So you have like a couple of big, fairly rich and famous Danish guys that lives, in big houses here in Switzerland, and have obviously Switzerland is a market where this is more, mature. And I was also listening before you said you can buy a Tesla car. Actually, you can buy your train ticket in Geneva based on Bitcoin.
And you are living in Switzerland, right?
I've been living in Switzerland the last 4 years.
Exactly. And they also, like, when you moved to Switzerland, did you notice that a lot of Danes and countrymen start up their fintech startups in Switzerland, that is, so the crypto startups? Do you have connections with people there that work in the crypto industry?
Yeah, I know a couple of Danish people that I've met here that is in that industry. And obviously it's because it's both, if you make a lot of money, obviously it's cheaper taxation-wise to live in Switzerland, but also I believe that the regulation is a bit easier here in Switzerland. But we also have like a big, there's something called, I guess the name is Concordium, a big company that is starting up. That is based out of Denmark these days. So, yes.
You work in home security. That's not digital security, of course, I'm aware. But can you say anything about how Danish people secure their crypto possessions?
I don't know much about how they secure the crypto possessions.
All right.
That's not my area.
Yeah. Hey, Kion, earlier you mentioned that 25% of the people in the country are at least aware, but also investing in shares, if not cryptocurrency. You also mentioned the word mainstream. You connected it with COVID and the fact that people have more cash. Where do you see the future of investing in your country go?
No, but I obviously think that Denmark, for example, as a Nordic country, we are way behind both Sweden and Norway in terms of people investing themselves. So I think it's obvious that investing is getting more and more popular. It's becoming much easier, accessible. With a couple of clicks on your phone, you can buy and sell shares through the different apps. So it's much easier now. And I can just hear with my friends and my colleagues and so on that everybody is talking about. Not everybody, but a lot of people are talking about investment. I think also the famous FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah. So the market has gone up big time over the last years. And obviously, you're all the time in the media and by friends you hear of people making a lot of money. And obviously you want to be on that train as well. But at the same time, I also think, just on the flip side on this, me being a finance background and so on, this is obviously not going to be only positive for the future. So what I also see is that people that I normally not, are used to think that those guys will be looking into financial investments, they are now also looking into this. So I think there's also a risk here that people who maybe not know too much about it is going to, invest a lot of money and maybe more than they actually have. And that I think is good. But for example, if I go 1 year back when the COVID started, I think my personal investments went down something like in a week with 40 to 50%.
Yeah, then you got to keep holding.
I kind of have a risky profile. So I had, a month where I just turned off the app and didn't look at it and maybe didn't sleep that well. Because, if you look too much at it, you'll be, you have a tendency to sell. Yeah. And then quite a lot of people I knew, they sold. I didn't sell anything and I kept it. And now I went down 50 and now I'm up 50%. But just waiting because the next 12 months have been amazing, right?
Well, hopefully that stream, that upward stream of percentage continues. But it's good to hear that more and more people get in touch with the financial and investing industry in your country. Hopefully that continues as well. Kion, I'd like to thank you for your time. We'll have to continue the show, but hopefully speak to you again in the near future to see what's going on in a matter of time. So thank you again and hopefully speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, speaking with Kion about the financial situation in Denmark, very interesting. But now we have a new guest in the Bots special guest section. Because we will be talking to Nir Netzer. He's the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association. So if there's someone that knows what's going on in the FinTech industry and the innovations, then it's probably Nir. Well, Nir, welcome. Thank you for joining us in today's episode of Bots TV.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
It's sunshine in Israel, I see.
Indeed. It's been a beautiful week and we have a beautiful weekend ahead.
Damn, I wish I could say the same in the Netherlands. Currently not so sunny over here. Hey, so chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association, and my first question would be, what are the current developments that you're noticing in your country?
The current involvements with FinTech? So I guess that the COVID situation, of course, pushed things forward in terms of digital banking and digital payments. So we see digital banking and payments on the rise, as well as probably biometric security, cybersecurity in general, authentication, anti-fraud, identity theft, identity management for the financial industry, etc., etc. Everything that's related to the insurance industry as well, along with cyber insurance, is well on the rise. And of course, we see deep tech, which is deployed, if it's AI, machine learning, blockchain-based solutions that are on the rise as well. So I guess that's what we can see from Israel and as well around the globe, of course.
Okay, I heard a hint about blockchain already. Would you explain to me how big you think, how important an innovation Bitcoin actually is?
Bitcoin innovation or cryptocurrencies in general? What are you referring? I mean, I can talk about both.
Let's have the first.
Okay, sure. So, Bitcoin is on the rise, of course, and we see what happened to the coin value in the past year. Obviously, we can see dramatic changes in the way that financial institutions and big-scale corporations are treating it. It's not just that Tesla is starting its investment portfolio in Bitcoin. There are many other corporations that want their cut basically. So also institutional investors are they also want a piece of this cake, and obviously we see that this influenced the Bitcoin price. So I think that Bitcoin, it's here to stay. Definitely, we see the Bitcoin price going up, and I think that we will keep seeing it going up as we go further along this year.
Yeah, Nir, when we talk about the second option, so the crypto industry in general, now, as the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association, I can imagine that in the past couple of years, and maybe especially this year in the bull market, you got more and more in touch with cryptocurrency companies, maybe?
Yeah, of course. Goes without saying. I mean, cryptocurrency companies, there are some utility coins and some real companies working on real solutions, as we see Ripple and others. And these solutions are serving the banking industry as well as individuals. So yeah, we see that the cryptocurrency industry is on the rise. We see new coins that are issued, which have different roles and positions in the crypto market. And we see different players, crypto players, such as exchanges and other custodians, crypto banks and facilitators that are also part of this game, that are also taking their cut of this pie. Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about this very innovative part of the crypto industry called DeFi, decentralized finance. What expectations do you have for DeFi?
So, decentralized finance, I think, is going to touch not just the financial industry. Decentralized finance can touch any industry, and we see it coming for different industries. It's the automotive, the agriculture, and even the healthcare industry and other. I think that the decentralized financing trend is going to serve all these industries and going to be there to basically to have better management capabilities of these industries. So yeah, we're talking about the financial industry, but we're also talking about financial aspects of other industries. And the decentralized trend, or we were talking in past years on smart ledgers and different solutions for accounting as well. So it's going to be serving different industries, and it's definitely here to stay. Although it's a new buzzword, but it's not a new trend because it's been here for a while. Since we're talking about blockchain-based solutions, so in a natural way, it's a decentralized solution that exist there for the last, I would say, 7 and even more years.
Yeah, many of those innovations come from small companies, sometimes not companies at all, since they're decentralized. But do you think banks, the mammoths, are innovative enough right now?
If I think that what will be innovative enough? Sorry?
Do you think banks are innovative right now?
So yeah, it depends. There are several banks who are, in this game and invested heavily in this game. And we see some of the biggest giants, financial giants in the world that are heavily invested in the blockchain and crypto game. We know that there are different blockchain-based solutions already working, for example, in JP Morgan, in Barclays, and different major banks around the globe. So yeah, there are some players that are heavily invested in it. There are some players that don't want to touch it, not yet, at least not as long as they won't feel enough comfortable more than now to see how it goes or where it goes. But yeah, there are several players who are playing this game in a very big scale.
Okay. Now, finally, do you have a prediction for us for the Bitcoin price by the end of this year?
Okay, so since this conversation is being recorded, I'll be
That's
very
right.
careful saying, I think we're gonna be very close to the 100,000 range. I would say, carefully stating, 95 probably. 95,000 is my guess here.
Well, that's a great specific number. Nir, thank you for joining us in today's show. For the people that are looking to get more information about what you're doing, they can find you online.
Definitely search for the Israeli Fintech Association, fintech-aviv.com, or Nir Netzer on LinkedIn to get your inquiries.
Great. Thank you for joining us in the show once again, and enjoy the sunshine in Israel.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So, great conversation with Nir Netzer. Again, he is the chairman of the Israeli Fintech Association. But now we're going to have a conversation with a guest that's been in the show already more times. It's Damien. And we're going to continue with Bots the Builder. Yes, Damien, welcome in the show once again. Damien Voorhagen, co-founder of dematrading.ai. Good to have you back in the show.
Thanks, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's not been that long actually, eh?
It doesn't feel that long.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, well...
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, something like that.
4, 6.
Yeah, good to have you back. But of course, there's always developments at dematrading.ai, right? And
Yep.
I heard that you have an announcement as well to kick things off.
Yep, yeah. So a lot of people have been asking us to make more bots, to develop more, and I've been like, come on, give us some awesome bots. So actually, we have a way to kickstart our development. We got an investment.
Congratulations.
Thank you, from a bot creator that a lot of people here know, and that's Boosting Alpha. So they actually got an investment in our company, which allows us to hire more people so we can spend more on bot development. But they will also help us on the technical side of things. So we can actually spend more time and more resources on bot optimization and actually do a lot of technical things that would have been a lot harder without them.
Wow, really cool to hear that actually both parties involved with bots and also in the Discord group actually help one each other out by investing in the company.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So, but you say Boost or you say Demo Trading, right? It's not going to change names.
No. It's really a partnership. So they really focus on AI-related trading algorithms. We are really in another market where we focus more on helping people to build their own algorithms and to optimize them for them and make sure that they are safe and worth to offer on the bots platform.
Right. And any specific news as far as building bots is concerned?
So at the moment, we are, I would say, building about 10 to 15 bots that are really potential to come onto the platform. Next month, we have another 4 people joining our company, so that will help to speed things up a lot more. And this quarter, we're really expecting to start filling up the app.
Wow, it's growing very rapidly, eh? 10 to 15 bots at once in the potential bots app.
Yeah, well, we're not going to release them at once. It's a different concepts, different kind of bots that we're working with a lot of different bot creators. Right, so we are really the partner to help facilitate people in bot development.
So how long before all 15 will be out there?
Oh, that's so yeah. That's really
lots of testing.
It's a really hard thing to say because we're developing the concepts, but if we think they are not safe enough to offer on the platform, we also pull them back. So we have already pulled multiple bots actually back while trying if they work and if they're safe enough.
And Herbert, before we had the live show today, we actually spoke about Damien coming here, and we also spoke about HTML in the past and building websites and the basically association you made with what Damien is doing and with web pages in the past. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it used to be that you had to build your own website using HTML. You had to know this language. And then along came the blogger sites where you could just click a few parts together and have your own blog. Is that what you can do for bots? That we can actually, just by clicking, create our own?
So that's the goal for somewhat medium term. So right now we are building a framework that's already available in beta actually, but it still requires to actually look into code. We provide documentation. One of the new employees will also focus on full-time expanding that documentation. So in the end, for the short term, it will be people who are speaking English and are actually able to copy and paste lines and to adjust things.
Code,
they will be able
code lines.
But it's in Python. For those unfamiliar, you can basically write it that simple that it looks like English. So in terms of indicators, it's really if the close price is above the moving average line, that kind of level.
That's my level.
Well, yeah. So
Mine too,
we really want to make it as simple as possible. So you can really, we provide a lot of examples. So you can really copy paste things together. But for now, it's still code. And then on the longer term, we're actually wanting to develop a UI-based system, which for other people who are not familiar with it means that you can actually click and drag and drop
Exactly.
to build your own algorithms.
Because
Like,
it
no
basically,
code.
yeah, but
Yeah.
It also saves education. Like you don't have to educate potential clients or people that want to create bots because it's very easily understandable and very easy to make the bot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then
This
if
is longer term, I suppose, like years.
Well, maybe not years, but it's not months. No. So building a UI is really a lot of things you have to develop.
So round about 1 year. That's the
well,
kind
that's the
of
goal. Yeah.
time frame.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Rather,
if
rather
Interesting.
sooner.
I mean, if the investments keep coming, it can be a month. You know, you never know. It can go very quick eventually.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with if you make an interface is that typically there's a lot less options that you have, and we also want to provide tools for people that they can do basic optimizations for their own bots, and that's really hard to do with an interface. So for now, it's people that speak English and really want to learn how to do it. And then on a longer term, we're actually looking to do it this way.
But then eventually they create a bot, or in some way, can they also choose what the bot looks at, like the indicators that the bot has to keep an eye on, or
Yes.
so they can really build it themselves, and then eventually, once the bot is built, it's going to be run by demo trading for them.
So basically what's going to happen is people can download the framework, they can use it, they can copy paste everything together, they can run it, and within a few seconds you would see the backtest, so you know how it would have performed, and you get a lot of insights based on that.
A couple of seconds, meaning it's backtesting history data.
Yes.
Okay.
So you put in the indicator, you think, oh, I'm going to try this indicator, you add it, you click run, then within a few seconds it says, okay, last year you would have made 1,500% profit. Then you're like, yes, that's really good. Then you think, okay, this is ready to go live. That's basically where we come in. They share that configuration with us under an NDA and everything. We check to see if we think it would work, that's not overfitted, for example, so that it only worked in the past, but it won't work in the future. We see if we can make it even better and even safer. And if it passes everything, we put it into the sandbox. It gets tested by the bots app. They have an environment for that as well. And then if they think it's good and we still think it's good, then the bot is actually going live.
Yeah. So, and if it's really bad what you created, you know it before it does any real damage.
Yes, exactly.
Also to the person's own bank account. Of course, the creator.
Exactly.
The creator.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
basically, the most important question you have for viewers watching is, what kind of bot are they looking for, or do they want to create their own bot? Then they know where to go, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of people who really think this is interesting, or we start to see more and more people asking us like, how do I start with it? How do I actually start making the bot? And a lot of other people are asking, when are the bots coming live? People can always ask me questions in the Discord. A lot of people always PM me as well. So any suggestions, feedback is always very welcomed.
Right now, are you also thinking about a business model around this UI-based bot creating process? Because I'm wondering, if I go to your website or something, create my own bot, how do you get paid?
Yeah, so we facilitate everything. So people, they make their algorithm. They basically send it to us in a secure environment. And from that moment onwards, we test it, we optimize it, we put it live. Bots is paying us every month, or we can withdraw the amount that we got paid.
Okay.
And then we pay it back to the person that actually created the algorithm. So we share the profit, and they get paid once every month, also for multiple bots. We take care of the servers, security, API. You can make your algorithm and just chill on the beach.
I think it's a very clear story. Once again, congratulations with the new investment.
Thank
and
you.
we're going to continue talking because we will continue to the Bots League section. Of course, the Bots League is up and running. 2 weeks ago in the episode, we didn't necessarily talk about the Bots League because we had a very special guest at that moment. But now the Bots League, this is the current status. We have for you the top 10 or either the top 30 in the screen, or we don't, is what I just hear. But if you go to Instagram, in case you have your phone, or if you're watching on your phone, please don't go away. But if you go to Instagram and you go to the bots Instagram page, you will click on the story and you will see the top 10 bots in the story. And currently on the number 1 position is Team To The Moon with the bot name Hot BB King Loves BTC, loves Bitcoin, with 129%. Damien, you're also in the Bots League, basically playing in the Bots League, or you have bots in the Bots League. How's it going?
Well, I haven't seen the latest update, but I think we have 1 or 2 bots in there.
The Panther is in the top 10.
Yeah, so Puma and Panther,
place
right?
9, I believe. 9 or 10.
Yeah, something like that. One of those is actually scheduled to go live on the platform soon as well. So I think that's really, really nice for people to know. Overall, the bot seems to be performing according to our expectations so far. So that's good. We didn't expect it to actually win the league because it has certain protections and risk mitigations. Right? So it's trying to be a little bit on the safer side. So we didn't really make it for the league to really win it. Nevertheless, it's still kind of a high risk bot.
It's a modest bot.
Well, I mean, we could even make it more high risk just to win the league. Yeah. But as we wanted to focus on making live bots, we chose to make it this way. It's still a high risk bot anyway. It trades a lot. It takes a lot of trades with high risk. A lot of people ask me for high risk bots, but we still think this actually is safe enough for people to get into.
Yeah, because
I have this question. You have this Panther bot. You also used to have one called Puma, and it seems like it left the field with an injury or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it's actually at now. I think according to our calculation, it's just dropped out of the top 10. So that's a little bit too bad, but it was also more of an experimental bot that we made.
Okay.
And it's actually still under development as well.
So maybe that was a higher risk one.
Yeah, that was a high. It was less predictable for us what it's going to do, especially. Yes.
I guess it's Herbert. It's also the balance, right, between either having a very risky bot and at the time of the competition performing very well, but then maybe in real life for the years to come on the bots app not performing as well, so getting like a false positive basically. Yeah. While as with demo trading, you're mainly focused on having stable bots, basically, like knowing what to expect from the bot itself.
Yeah, so
Panther.
Yeah, we try to empathize a more monthly stable return. So if we see, for example, that a bot is not doing very well in 1 month and then very bad in another month, we also try to optimize it to get it more into balance. Also because you see a lot of users in the app that actually don't like to see their accounts going minus 20 or minus 30. In crypto and Forex, that's still quite common to have. But since a lot of users don't want to see that kind of drawdown, right, going lower in your account balance, we try to stabilize the configuration a bit more.
Yeah, so no high peaks and low valleys, but something in between.
It could still happen, but if it happens without the optimizations that we do with machine learning, it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Considering the competition, do you focus on your own strength, your own bots, or do you also like spy on your adversaries, study them, find out what they're doing?
Well, so we can't really see what they are doing.
You can observe them, all right?
Well, yeah, you can see obviously how much they perform in the league. But bots is protecting a lot of the intellectual property of all the bots. So it doesn't really get further than just seeing the return. And we actually, I mean, our concept, we don't do any bot development ourselves, right? So other people make the bots and we help with that. So we actually already have like 15 people where we're actively developing bots with. So we don't really need to pay attention to what other people are doing because we are seeing so many different concepts already.
Yeah. I'm just curious. You have this panther, you have this puma. What other names are coming up?
So it
Lion,
really
tiger, jaguar.
Yeah, so these series are specifically from one of our creators, right? So you can also tell that by the name. So this is Ed from dematrading.ai, which is our brand name. There's actually multiple, we try to make it a brand thing. So this creator really liked to have cat names. So there's more cat names coming from this creator. And then other creators, they give their own twist to that. And which ones are coming live, I'm going to leave that as a surprise.
Well, we're going to finish with that surprise in mind. It's going to be a surprise till the moment you're going to notice us on Discord and social media and everywhere else. So then again, congratulations with the investment and many new employees, many new bots coming in the upcoming months.
Yep.
Very, let's say, energetic times for you to come this year.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's really nice to see all the users so active. And I got so many people asking me questions, interacting with me, which I really like as well.
Yeah,
so
congratulations. And hopefully see you in a couple of weeks again.
Yes, thanks. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Exactly. So thank you. Let's continue to the predictions graphic that we have. These are the predictions of the different guests that we had in our show. Now, we just had Nir. He was the chairman of the Israeli FinTech Association. He expected a price of around 100K at the end of this year, specifically 95K. And the other prices are, well, most of the people think it's going to be around 100K. Some people in the middle, 40, 50K. And some people have very low estimates of around 20 or 10K. But that just depends on what is low. Because if we ask this question in March 2020, Herbert, then low was definitely not 20K.
or the start of 2019 when Bitcoin was around 3K.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
what's low,
nowadays,
what's
low is 20K, but a year ago, high was 20K.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It just depends on the situation we're at. Anyway, currently, we switch guests in our show, and we have a known face back in our TV or Bots TV episode. Hendrik,
hey,
welcome back. Responsible for Bots Gold and also,
Yes.
of course, the CEO. Good to have you back in the show. How are you doing?
fine. Yeah, really good. It started to get nice weather last week, and now this week was a little bit less. But I'm
weird.
already in the spring summer feeling actually.
Yeah, it looks good. Like white clothes, of course. Give more
maybe.
sunny spring environments.
I see it on the screen. It's maybe too white. No, it's okay.
Yeah, you're disappearing in the background. No, good you're here. And to kick things off, let's start with an important tip of one of the community members, Wouter, very known community member as well in the Discord group. And you can also as well comment on his important tip. So the tip of Wouter Kaptein, again, very active in the Discord group as well. His tip is do your own research, learn about the difference between the bots, the base coin, and crypto in general.
Very good.
Hendrik,
good advice.
What's your opinion?
No, I know Wouter, of course, and I totally agree. I see clients, users of us who start without knowing this actually. We as bots also try to be more proactive in this and learn them about base coins, differences between bots, the coins they trade in. But I totally agree with Wouter. I think especially when you're going to do more, you should research what you want to invest in, what kind of coins, and also the good what are the good creators. So that's why that's why we make those podcasts, for example, to let the clients, users know who are these guys, what are they doing.
Maybe you can explain to us quickly once more what a base coin is and why it's important.
The base coin is actually the coin where the bot starts trading with. It's the coin where he starts to buy the other coins in his strategy.
And where it goes back to in case he sells,
yes.
Right?
And then the difference is we have a lot of the bots are USDT, which is actually crypto dollar, and which is kind of safe because when he starts buying coins with this USDT, it can also go out, as you say. So he sells his crypto positions and comes back in USDT, and then you only are exposed to US dollar, euro,
which is very stable.
Sort of.
So you get rid of all your crypto risk. If the whole crypto market goes down, you're safe.
And if you are like, if your base coin is Bitcoin, Ethereum, or BNB, and that's why we have a couple of bots which did amazing because they have BNB as their base coin. So they always go up when BNB is going up. it's highly volatile, of course, because when, for example, if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum and BNB last week, you see it going up and down.
Yeah.
And that's the main difference. And that's also what Wouter means. So do your own research. And also we can help you with that, but decide for yourself how much percent of my bots do I want to be exposed totally to Bitcoin or Ethereum or BNB.
So if I try to translate this into regular English, in a bull market you want to have a base coin like Bitcoin or BNB. In a bear market you'd like to have a base coin like USDT, which is $1.
It also depends on the moment you get into the market, right? And of course that's something that if you do your research and you can see where the currency is at. Once you get into a bot at the all-time highs, the chances of it going down at the beginning is higher than it, of course, going up. But in general, Bitcoin, base coin, should now be this year a pretty safe choice.
Yeah, for some time.
But
safe, right?
but that's the problem. Not all
No
users who just start are like emotional capable of seeing that Bitcoin being volatile at this moment. So they see it 10% up, 10% down. And they find it sometimes hard. That's why they also actually looking for bots. They say, I also want to go out. That's what they ask. Now, then we say, okay, then choose USDT bots. Akka, for example, Team Akka only makes bots with USDT.
It's good for your emotions.
And you see them at this moment, like the bot Supernova, really outperforms the market.
Okay, so there are teams who, for some philosophical reason, choose a certain base coin.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, Akka does it because they think this is less risky. Okay. So it's sort of it's
risk avoidance.
Yeah, risk avoidance. Some at the beginning, Altrady chose. I don't know exactly what the reason was he did, but I think he believed in Bitcoin, of course. And his bots are all Bitcoin or Ethereum based. That's why he has amazing results this year.
Okay, so Ethereum can be a base coin too.
Yeah.
And BNB.
Okay. And BNB and Bitcoin. So we have 3 options.
Of course, we have a couple of viewer questions, but talking about the viewer questions in general, there's an innovation inside the company service related. I noticed as well on Discord because Michiel is sometimes answering a couple of questions.
For sure. No, that's I think it's really good that Michiel does that. Of course, Michiel is also, as a lot of bots employees, a really busy man because we have to work a lot of hours. But now we think the support is like very important. We see a lot of questions in the Discord community, and they really appreciate it when somebody like Michiel, one of the founders and CEO, is coming in and helps them and answers questions. And he knows a lot, of course.
And it's on set dates and times, right?
Tuesday 9 o'clock. Yeah, it was Tuesday 9 o'clock. Eh? Yeah.
I asked the question, but I knew the answer.
No, but like we already said, transparency is a bot's corporate value, company value. And sometimes in Discord they say, "Oh, you're not transparent enough." We try to be as transparent as possible. That's why Michiel steps in. We want to share our backlog, our roadmap for the upcoming times. And that's also what we think. Like, okay, we say what we want to develop the upcoming months. We try to make it. If we don't make it, we will tell you honestly. And I also see that the Discord community appreciates that when we are honest about it. They already see that we didn't make it, so we can better tell it, and then it's okay.
Exactly. And talking about like viewer questions as well and viewers, one viewer is asking, is buying bots investing or speculating? Interesting.
I would say investing. Of course, it can be highly volatile, but if you see, now I had a podcast with Team Akka, so that's why I named them. If you see those guys working on algorithms with 6 employees, all into math and physics, very smart guys who make the best algorithms. Yeah, I wouldn't say like yesterday we had someone a user in a call, and he said, "For me, it's still a casino." Now, if you use bots like that, I wouldn't say it's a casino anymore.
But also, that's where the tip of Wouter comes in again. Like, do your own research, and before investing, know what you do.
And we, as bots, also want to try to get to know those creators as much as possible, but also do your research yourself. You can see how the results of the creators are. Follow them on LinkedIn. So, for example, Roy Lenders on LinkedIn every month he made this whole Excel file with all his bots from the performances from March. So there's really good information. You can choose your bots out of there.
Data.
Still, there's one thing we don't yet know, and that is how will the bots, all the bots, perform in a bear market?
Yeah,
we still have to find out.
Of course, but what we already saw is that when, like last week, it goes up and down, eh? And
basically
and then
sideways.
You see, but then you see like a couple of bots perform really, really good.
Yeah, we had quite some dips in the past 2 months, especially from 58 back to 40, which was almost 30%.
Yeah, but I'm honest with you, like a bear market, like going back like 30 or 40%.
Or 80. Yeah, that's a real bear market.
No, I agree with you. We didn't see that yet. And they say they are prepared for it. They test for it, but you never know.
But
that's why you should choose if you are afraid of that, choose the USDT bots. They should go out.
Yeah, but then maybe, when that market is approaching and the bot creators feel it's approaching, they might also build bots specifically for that type of industry. But we will not know till probably the end of this year.
What they do, they test it. It isn't a continuously process. It is ongoing. Like they have built multiple algorithms, but they also made a system which monitors all those algorithms. And Akka said that they are more time looking at this monitoring system than looking at these individual algorithms. So that's really important for them. Like keep track on those bots. How are they performing? How can we tweak them?
So now I'm putting 2 and 2 together. You told us if you're risk averse, you need to have a base coin like USDT, and So now I see that we are in a bull market right now. So I choose like Bitcoin as a base coin. Yeah, could be wise for me to wait until maybe the fall, when the market may be at a high point, and then switch to bots that have the USDT as a base coin.
Yeah, that's. But then.
Now I want a bot that does that for me.
Yeah.
That looks for the top of the market and then switches its own base coin.
That's a really good question.
That's a good one.
We haven't got it yet, of course, but we are investigating it.
Good.
So like a bot over the bots.
And then I'm getting royalties, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Damien might still be here somewhere, so maybe it's listening.
It's not that easy, but
a
colleague of us was already investigating this and researching this. What's a nice idea?
Yeah, well, to finish things off with the last question, again, a viewer question that is it better to bet on a bot? Bet, the word better, right? So is it better to bet on a bot that has already proven itself with high return on investment, or is it better to go for a new bot with lower ROI?
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people say ROI, they see in the bot set, they see 4%.
Yeah, or 400.
For example, or 400, but I always say, if you see the 4%, always look at when did this bot started. They never calculated, for example, how much did it do in a week. And if it's like 2 weeks on the platform and it says 4%, so it makes 2% a week. And then you compare that with a bot with 80%, and if it's on like 50 weeks, you know which one are better. So that's what I saw with the recent upcoming bots. Yeah, they already had 4 or 10% after 2 weeks. But still, people were asking, is this bot, which was full, going open? I call it open again. Are you going to raise the cap or not? Yeah, I say, but also look at those bots. It seems low, but per week they are performing amazing.
Yeah, and if you take it over the same amount of time, they might outperform.
But and with this question, it's also important what we say. Okay, what's his base coin? And did it grow because its base coin grow a lot?
Yeah.
And what do you expect from BNB? If you choose a certain bot with base coin BNB, it says 1,000%. But BNB going up 1,000% again this year.
Not very probable.
Question mark. Well, hopefully the bots will make sure that BNB goes up 100% or 1,000%, right? Yeah. Hendrik, thank you for joining us in the show. Hopefully see you soon once again to answer even more user questions.
Thank you for having me.
So, then we're going to wrap things up. It's been a great episode, Herbert.
Yeah, that's right.
We've had some great guests as well. Very
I'm
interesting.
looking forward to the bots that I can click together myself, and I'm looking forward to the bots that change
do-it-yourself
their own,
bots.
Change their own base coin.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
I think it's a great story.
Yeah.
The demo trading idea, instead of building bots themselves, they have people building the bots, basically.
Absolutely.
Like being creative. Just like WordPress, exactly. From HTML to WordPress, from
That's it.
investing in bots to building your own bots. Anyway, the schedule of next week, well, in 2 weeks' time, of course. So in 2 weeks' time, we're, of course, going to talk about the news of that week. And then in Bots Special, we're going to talk with the Prince in the Netherlands, Constantijn van Oranje-Nassau. He's going to join us in the episode. We're going to talk with Prince Constantijn about the financial market and the industry, and also what he is doing, because he's very busy with innovations in the country. Then we have Bots to Builder, Bots League, and again, Bots Users, things you already know from the past episodes and, of course, today's episode. Now, to wrap things up, I'd like to thank you for watching to today's episode. Herbert, thank you for joining me in today's episode, and we'll see each other again in 2 weeks' time. So thank you once again, and see you in 2 weeks to Bots TV.